We're always looking for those smart moves, right? The kind of investments that not only deliver returns, but also feel like you're positioning yourself for the future.
Definitely.
Today, we're drilling down into a particularly interesting intersection of these long-term trends, healthcare and real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the core insight, kind of right up front. The upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital in Phuket isn't just a state-of-the-art medical facility.
No, it's more than that.
It's a potential game changer for property investment in the area. We're talking projected rental yields that could significantly outpace the Phuket average. Let's unpack how we got here.
Exactly. We're taking a deep dive into the potential of investing in property near this future Bumrungrad Hospital in Phuket.
Okay.
And our analysis today, it's based on insights from an article by Ocean Worldwide. They're a really well-respected luxury real estate agency.
Oh, right. Ocean Worldwide. They've been in Phuket a long time, haven't they?
Since 2004. So yeah, extensive firsthand knowledge of the local property market there.
And they focus on the high-end stuff, the luxury residential market.
That's their specialty. And the agency is directed by Sandra O'Neill. She's got years of experience, helped thousands of families and investors. They really know Phuket.
Good source, then. And just so we're clear for everyone listening, it's pronounced Phuket.
Yes, Phuket, not Phuket.
So our mission for you today is basically to extract the most valuable info from this Ocean Worldwide article.
Yeah, give you a clear picture. See if exploring property investment in this specific part of Phuket aligns with your interest in identifying these promising opportunities.
Okay, let's dig in. What's the foundation of this potential? Where does it start?
Well, the foundation really lies in the healthcare landscape of Phuket itself. The Ocean Worldwide article paints a picture of a thriving private healthcare sector.
Thriving how?
Driven by strong demand for high-quality medical services, plus, significant ongoing investments in advanced technologies and treatments. And this isn't just a local thing.
It's part of a bigger global shift, isn't it? That whole health awareness trend.
Precisely. The article highlights that this growing global awareness around health and well-being, people are increasingly proactive, seeking the best medical care available.
And looking beyond their own borders sometimes.
Often, yeah. Which leads them to places like Thailand, like Phuket.
Okay, so what about the hospitals themselves in Phuket? What kind of activity are we seeing there?
Well, what's fascinating here is the strategic expansion of the private hospitals. It's quite deliberate.
Oh, so?
We're seeing them extend their reach, establishing new facilities in key tourist destinations, and Phuket is absolutely a prime example.
Right.
And there's also this trend towards consolidation, mergers and acquisitions indicating, strong confidence in future growth.
Any examples?
Yeah, the article points to Bangkok Hospital's acquisition of a stake in Bumrungrad itself as a pretty significant indicator of this trend.
Okay, interesting. And it sounds like the Thai government is actively kind of fostering this growth as well.
Oh, absolutely. If you connect this to the broader strategy, the Thai government has been actively promoting Thailand as a major medical hub since way back in 2003.
Since 2003. Wow.
Yeah, this isn't just talk. They've actually designated the medical sector as one of their 10 key targeted industries.
So real policy behind it.
Specific policies to bolster health tourism. That level of government backing really signals a long-term vision.
That's a significant commitment. What specific areas of health tourism are they focusing on? What does the article say?
The Ocean Worldwide article, it details a pretty comprehensive approach. They mention promoting Thailand for dental care, comprehensive health checkups, cosmetic surgery, anti-aging treatments.
The whole range.
And even fertility services. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, the STIT, they play an active role in marketing all these different specialties.
Now, while the picture seems, pretty promising, are there any potential challenges or headwinds on the horizon?
That's a critical point to consider, and the article does touch on it. It astutely notes the increasing competition in the healthcare sector.
From where?
Other Asian countries mainly. Think Singapore, Malaysia, India, China. They're all aiming to become leading medical destinations too.
Right.
And also, countries in the Middle East, which have historically sent a lot of patients to Thailand, they're now investing heavily in their own domestic healthcare infrastructure.
So more competition could squeeze margins.
It could potentially put pressure on profitability, yeah. Particularly for maybe the smaller independent healthcare providers in Phuket. They might find that strategic partnerships become increasingly important to stay competitive.
Okay, so we have this thriving healthcare sector in Phuket, strong government support, but also growing international competition.
Right.
Let's focus back on the core investment opportunity highlighted by Ocean Worldwide. What makes property near the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital so attractive?
Okay, so the primary advantage, and Ocean Worldwide really emphasizes this, is the direct proximity. Being close to the high-quality medical care offered by a globally recognized name like Bumrungrad.
Right, that name recognition helps.
Definitely. And this nearness, it significantly enhances a property's appeal to a whole range of people.
Like who?
Well, patients needing regular care, obviously. They're visiting families needing nearby accommodation. And even the medical professionals who will be working in hospital.
Creates a kind of built-in demand.
Exactly. A consistent and dependable demand for both rental properties and potentially sales in the immediate vicinity.
So it's more than just, a convenience factor. It taps into a fundamental need.
hmm
And how does that translate into potential returns for investors? What are the numbers looking like?
It translates directly into the potential for, well, robust rental yields. Properties really close to major medical centers often command premium rental rates.
Because of that consistent demand you mentioned.
Yeah, from those groups, patients, families, staff, you're not solely reliant on the, let's say, fluctuating general tourism market. You're accessing a specific demographic willing to pay a premium for that convenience and security.
And the Ocean Worldwide article gives figures.
It provides some compelling figures, yeah. They project that condominiums near the hospital could yield 7-9% in rental income.
Okay, 7-9%. How does that compare?
Compared to the average of maybe 5-6% for Phuket as a whole?
That's quite a jump. What about other property types?
Villas near the hospital are projected even higher, 8-10% versus the general 6-7%. And apartments in the area could see yields of 6-8% compared to the Phuket average of 4-5%.
Wow, those are substantial differences. Really highlights the potential impact of the hospital.
It really does.
And this isn't just about long-term rentals, is it? What about the tourism aspect?
Precisely. Phuket already attracts a growing number of health tourists, people traveling specifically for medical treatments.
Right.
The arrival of Bumrungrad Hospital, a
Yeah.
name recognized worldwide for quality, is expected to significantly amplify this trend. So investing in property nearby lets you directly cater to this expanding market.
Potentially through short-term rentals as well.
Absolutely. Offering accommodation tailored to their specific needs.
What kind of specific amenities would most appealing to these health tourists, according to the article?
The Ocean Worldwide piece suggests several key things. Easy and reliable transport, to and from the hospital. Access to translation services, that's important.
Language barriers.
Yeah. And crucially, accommodation designed with recovery in mind. Think comfortable, easily accessible spaces, maybe with support services readily available.
Makes sense. So the healthcare factor is clearly a major draw. But what about the overall economic health of Phuket? How does that interplay with this investment opportunity?
That's a crucial layer to consider, definitely. As the Ocean Worldwide article points out, Phuket's economy is heavily reliant on tourism.
Which means property values can be cyclical.
Exactly. Tourism directly influences property values in that cyclical way. High tourist seasons tend to drive up demand and prices. Dips in tourism can slow things down.
So look at the long-term trend.
That's the key, yeah. Look at the long-term trajectory. And consider factors like the type of tourists visiting budget versus luxury makes a difference. Seasonality, of course. And broader global economic conditions always play a role.
And what about the infrastructure and development happening across Phuket generally, not just near the hospital?
Well, Phuket is undergoing significant urban development. Initiatives aimed at improving quality of life for residents and enhancing the tourist experience.
Like what sort of things?
Road network upgrades, developing more efficient public transport, creating new parks, recreational facilities. These kinds of improvements can definitely boost property values.
Especially near the new infrastructure.
Right. It's certainly something investors should monitor closely.
Looking forward then, what does Ocean Worldwide's article suggest about the future of Phuket's real estate market overall?
The article anticipates that tourism will remain, a vital pillar of Phuket's economy. That's not going away.
But maybe not the only pillar.
Exactly. They also highlight a growing trend towards attracting more long-term residents and businesses, diversifying the economic base.
Which could lead to a more stable market.
Potentially, yeah, a more stable and resilient property market in the future, with sustained demand for a wider range of property types.
Yeah, let's turn our attention to the demographic shifts discussed in the article. How are these trends contributing to the demand for healthcare and, therefore, the attractiveness of investing near Bumrungrad.
This is a really significant point, actually. The Ocean Worldwide article emphasizes that Phuket, like much of Thailand, is experiencing an aging population.
Right, the gray wave.
Yeah. And this demographic trend has a direct and frankly substantial impact on the demand for healthcare services,
Especially certain types.
particularly specialized medical care, geriatric services, long-term care options. As the proportion of older people increases, so does the need for these services.
Which makes investments near healthcare hubs.
Like the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital, particularly compelling, it taps right into that growing need.
And it's not solely about the aging population, is it? What else is driving demand?
Correct. The growth of the middle class in Thailand is another key driver mentioned in the article.
How does that affect things?
Well, with increased financial capacity, a larger segment of the population can actually access and is willing to invest in private healthcare and wellness services.
So more demand for higher quality care.
Exactly. Higher quality treatments, preventative care. It all contributes to the expansion of private hospitals and clinics in places like Phuket.
And finally, what role does the increasing emphasis on health and wellness generally play in this landscape?
Oh, absolutely. There's that clear and growing global trend, greater health awareness, and a corresponding rise in wellness tourism that affects locals and international visitors.
People being more proactive about health.
Yeah, seeking preventative treatments, wellness programs, even cosmetic enhancements. This trend just fuels a strong demand for comprehensive healthcare services in Phuket.
Especially services that cater to wellness tourists.
Right. Which again strengthens the investment proposition for properties near comprehensive medical centers like Bumrungrad is set to be.
Okay, so for someone listening now, perhaps seriously considering investing in property near the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital in Phuket, what key strategic considerations does the Ocean Worldwide article emphasize? What should they be thinking about?
The article highlights several crucial aspects for potential buyers. First and foremost is really evaluating the location and accessibility.
Beyond just being near the hospital.
Yeah, it's not just immediate proximity, it's also access to major transport routes, the quality of the surrounding environment. Is it pleasant, safe, convenient?
Makes sense. What else?
Secondly, a thorough understanding of Phuket's specific real estate market dynamics is essential. You need to know what's happening locally.
How do you get that?
Analyzing recent sales data helps, but importantly, consulting with a local expert, people who really possess that in-depth knowledge.
Like Ocean Worldwide, for example.
Exactly. Agencies like Ocean Worldwide, with their, nearly 2 decades of experience right there in the Phuket market since 2004, they're invaluable resources for that kind of insight.
And thinking about the bigger investment picture, long term.
From a long-term perspective, the article stresses setting clear investment objectives. What are you trying to achieve? Consider both the potential for capital appreciation over time
And having an exit strategy.
and the necessity of having a well-thought-out exit strategy, yes. Finally, the article provides a kind of useful checklist for buyers,
Oh, yeah. Like what?
underscoring the need to define a realistic budget first. Conduct thorough due diligence, very important.
Especially checking titles.
With a particular focus on verifying property titles, absolutely. And staying informed about any future development plans nearby that could influence the investment down the line.
Good practical advice. Let's move on to the practicalities of financing. What options does the article touch upon for individuals looking to invest in property in Phuket?
Okay, financing. The article outlined a few primary options. Local Thai banks do offer mortgage products.
But maybe different processes.
It's important to be aware, that the application process might involve different documentation requirements than, say, international investors are used to. And interest rates can vary, of course.
So shop around.
Definitely advisable to explore and compare offers from multiple local financial institutions.
And what about the regulations surrounding foreign investment in Thai property? That can often seem like a significant hurdle.
It certainly can be, and it's crucial to understand. The article correctly points out the general restrictions on direct land ownership by foreign nationals in Thailand.
But there are ways.
There are common and legally sound avenues for foreign investment. Long-term leases are one, typically 30 years, maybe with renewal options.
Okay.
And the other main one is outright ownership of condominium units. That's allowed, subject to a building-wide limit, no more than 49% foreign ownership in any single condo building.
And the key advice here is?
The critical piece of advice always is to engage qualified legal counsel to ensure you're fully compliant with all the regulations and really understand the specifics of your investment structure. Don't skip that step.
Right. And finally, on finance, what are some key considerations when it comes to actually leveraging mortgages for property purchases in Phuket?
Well, the article discusses both the upsides and the potential risks. A mortgage can help you leverage your capital, maybe enhance your overall return,
Okay.
but it's crucial to be mindful of the associated factors. Loan-to-value ratios offered by Thai banks might be more conservative than you're used to,
Meaning a bigger down payment.
potentially requiring a larger down payment. Yeah. Interest rates fixed versus variable need careful evaluation. Same with the loan's repayment terms.
Any other risks?
Additionally, the article rightly cautions about the potential impact of currency fluctuations. If your main income isn't in Thai baht, changes in exchange rates can affect your mortgage repayments. That's a real risk to factor in.
Okay, good points. Looking ahead once more, the Ocean Worldwide article provides insights into future developments, specifically in the area surrounding the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital. What kind of changes are anticipated there?
The future looks pretty promising in terms of infrastructure enhancements around there. The article details planned projects in Phuket designed specifically to improve accessibility to the hospital area.
What kind of projects?
Things like expansions and upgrades to the road network, trying to alleviate traffic congestion, improvements to public transport options like bus services, and potentially expansions or upgrades to Phuket International Airport further down the line.
All making it easier to get to the hospital.
Exactly. Enhancing the convenience for patients, visitors, and hospital staff alike.
And it's not just transportation infrastructure that's expected to evolve, is it? The article mentions other healthcare-related facilities too.
That's right. The establishment of a major medical center like Bumrungrad is likely to act as a kind of catalyst, attracting a cluster of complementary healthcare facilities to the surrounding area.
Like a healthcare ecosystem.
Pretty much. The Ocean Worldwide article suggests we might see the development of specialized medical clinics focusing on specific areas, rehabilitation centers for post-treatment recovery, maybe wellness retreats offering complementary therapies.
Making the area even more of a health hub.
Yeah, enhancing the overall appeal and functionality of the area significantly.
So bringing it all together, what is the anticipated impact of all these developments? The infrastructure, the related facilities on the local real estate market in Phuket, particularly near the hospital.
The article is quite clear on this. These anticipated developments are expected to have a significant positive influence on the local real estate market.
How so?
Well, as the area becomes more attractive and convenient for a broader range of people, patients, staff, visitors, wellness tourists, the demand for property is projected to rise, leading to increased rental yields for investors and the potential for substantial capital appreciation for property owners over time. It's essentially that supply and demand dynamic kicking in.
With Bumrungrad as the driver.
With the new Bumrungrad Hospital acting as a major driver of that demand. The article even summarizes this with examples like infrastructure projects improving access lead to higher property values nearby.
Makes sense.
New healthcare facilities increase demand from staff and patients, offering more rental opportunities. And the growth of medical tourism drives up occupancy rates, especially for short-term rentals. It all feeds into each other.
Okay, so to kind of summarize the key takeaways then from the Ocean Worldwide article on investing near the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital in Phuket, what's the bottom line?
The article concludes by strongly emphasizing the significant investment potential here, with Bumrungrad Hospital scheduled to open in late 2026.
Late 2026, okay.
The surrounding area is anticipated to experience a pretty substantial increase in demand for housing, for various support services.
And that demand drives value.
This expected surge in demand is highly likely to drive up property values in the vicinity, yes. Ocean Worldwide encourages listeners to seriously consider the growing local economy of Phuket and these expanding trends in health tourism.
It's compelling reason.
It has compelling reasons to explore this specific investment opportunity, and they suggest that now might actually be a particularly favorable time to act before the hospital opens.
And they recommend getting local advice.
They definitely recommend connecting with local experts like themselves at Ocean Worldwide in Phuket, obviously, for more detailed information and that kind of personalized guidance.
Right. So as we conclude this deep dive into the investment potential surrounding the upcoming Bumrungrad Hospital in Phuket, it really prompts a final thought for you listening. How might these evolving healthcare landscapes, both in Phuket and maybe globally, influence your future investment decisions, or perhaps even just your personal considerations around well-being and lifestyle.
Something to think about.
Yeah. This deep dive has aimed to give you a focused overview of the key insights from that Ocean Worldwide article, tailored to your interest in, gaining knowledge efficiently on this topic.